ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm here to share training plans in 2018. Before I'm going to talk about the programs of the training plans, I want to introduce myself first. My name is Lau Ikun. I'm from BABM students, and the subject is UGB 352, the learning development. Next. Before I start my topics, I want to show you a quote which is by Martin Luther King. Genesis leaders is not a searcher for consensus, but a model of consensus. Next will be a leadership training plans. The name of the program is the strategy to enhance the leadership in the workplace. And the date will be on 15 December 2018, which is on Saturdays. And the times will be started at 8 o'clock in the mornings until 5 o'clock in the evenings. In terms of venues, will be in Imperial Hotel Conference Room. All the participants included all the employees and the top decisions managers. This is a timetable for the training plans. We will start at 8 a.m., which is conducted by the Professor Linda A. Hughes. Professor Linda A. Hughes will talk about what is leadership developments, and the following by the ice-breaking, which is getting to know you sections. And then we will have a half-hour break times, following by the skills that will apply, which is motivations and team building, conducted by Professor Bill George by using the presentations techniques. After that, we have a 1 hour's lunch. After the 1 hour lunch, the sessions will be continued by effective communications, which is conducted by Professor Linda A. Hughes. And then after that, we have a short rest for 15 minutes. After the short rest, we have a creativity and innovation skill. And then there was a games named like Best Flat Challenge. After that, the last one is evaluation system. As the slide is going on, there is a training information. As the slide is going on, there is a training information. Those slide, the trainer information is the trainer information that just now I mentioned is Professor Linda A. Hughes, Professor Bill George, and then the Rachel Lims. These three professors are all the external speakers. They have the above 5 years experience and all the high education professor. And the next will be a role and next will be a training requirement. There are three training requirements. The first one is dress code. All the participants must wear the casual way, and the second one is document, which is the training requisition form must be submitted. And then the third one is all the participants must bring all the stationery such as pen, marker pens, and notebook. Next, as the slide is going on, this is the roles and responsibilities for coordinator, for trainers, and for the learners. For the coordinators must develop and implement a comprehensive frameworks, leadership frameworks, and then the coordinator must prepare the education tools and materials to the trainers so that the trainers will know what they want to teach the learners. Besides that, for the trainers are responsible to prepare an effective training program so that the learners can learn and the learners can motivate the learners to be a leaders and perform themselves, and the learner can perform themselves in their job. And then the last one is the learners. The learners are responsible to learn and improve their weaknesses, and then they must learn the skills that and applies in their job professionally. And the next is, before I going into the important parts of my speech, I want to talk about the purpose of learning development. The first one is to encourage and motivate the team members, and the second one is to understand the effective way to resolve the conflict, and the third one is to develop the leadership quality, and the last one is to explain the leadership roles in employee engagement, and the next one is the learning outcome. There are altogether 5 learning outcomes. The first one is to define what is leadership development, and the second one is to understand the skills to create the effective team environment in the workplace, and the third one is to maintain the efficiencies and effectiveness of the leaders, and the next is to understand the leader performance, and the last is to learn, gather, assess, and use the information to make the informed and well-reasoned decisions. What is leadership? Leadership is those who have ability to influence and guide the followers of an organization. As we know, leadership is important for all of us in here, and then what is the advantage of the leadership programs? The first advantage is increase the productivity. Throughout the these leadership programs, they will learn the right consistent leaders and understand the personal emotions. As we know, the personal emotional intelligence is a critical for the success leaders. So, as a leaders, you should be smart in your emotions and empathize effectively to empower the employees. And then the second one is retain your people. What is mean by retain your people? Retain your people is nowadays there are a lot of employees who quit their job, quit their boss, but not quit their jobs because of their ineffective leaders. So through the leadership programs, the employers can learn how to communicate with the leaders, and also can help to reduce the costly for recruitment expenses. And then the third one is implement an effective leadership style. The leadership program can assist in implementing the most appreciated leadership style. Besides that, it can help individual leaders to develop their own personal leadership style so that their team member will be best respond to. And then the first skills that I need to talk about is motivation skill. Motivation skill is top priority for the leaders. What is the ways to motivate the people as a leader? The first one, provide the chance to speak up. As employers, we need to provide a chance for the employee to speak up, because the employees can know the difficulties of the employees, and then they will feel the comfortable, and then it shows the fairness to everyone. And then the second one is appreciations and rewards. Like employers can show the appreciations in certain occasions, like for example, when they hit the target for the sales, the employers can appreciate the employee some things like give the incentive or etiquette for them who are hit the target. And the third one is partnering, not parenting. The employer can partner with their employees so that the employee have the possessions of the shared responsibility. And the next one is team buildings. Team buildings is important for the leaders. There are 5 team advantages of team building, which is build trust, and then improve the morale, to be more confident, to enhance the communication skills, and be more responsibility. All these 5 can learn from the team building skills, and then can produce a good leaders, effective leaders. And the next one is communication skills. as we know, the communication skill is important in leadership, as in leadership development. So there is five of tips that can produce a communication skill in the leadership. The first one is simplify. When you talk to employees, you can be simple, because simple communications can be a smart communications. And the second one is hold your thoughts. When you talk to your employees, when you have a meeting have a meeting, you can let your employees to talk first before you talk yours. For example, as employers, we can have 80% of listener and 20% of speaking. And then the third one is communications relentlessly. This is when you as a leader, when you want to talk to your employees, you can talk clearly, and then talk clearly about your data, your informations, so that the employees will listen what you are talking. And then the next one is use the story. Use the story can attract the employees to listen what you talk, and then the employees will bear in mind what you taught, and then they can use in their daily life. And then the last one is back it up. Back it up is what you taught must be influenced, and then must be use the information clearly. And then the last skill is creative and innovations. What is creativity? Creativity is edge of creating new idea, imaginations, and possibility. And the innovations is the introduction of something new and effective into the market. Both skills have their own benefits. For the creativity, there are 4 benefits, which is to increase the employee engagement. The second one is to increase the staff move errors, and then the third one is increase the problem solving, and the last one is increase the productivity and then decrease the cost. And then for the benefit for the innovation skill for employee as a leaders, they can increase the productivity of the employees and increase the competitive advertisement. This is a bar chart for the leadership qualities, which is the creativity skill shows how important the creativity skills. And then the next one is game activity, which I mentioned just now. There are total two games, which is add drop. These games can illustrate the importance of the teamwork, and then to reflect on how the group accomplished the task, and to enhance the relationship between the team members. However, the flag of challenge is to discover the potential of the team members and to exploit and moving forward with the confidence. As for the evaluation sessions, the Kirkpatrick will be used. The Likert scale will be used. What is Likert scale? Likert scale is a scale used to represent the people's attitude to a topic. There are 4 advantages of the Likert scale. The first one is responses are gathered in a standardized way. The second one is relatively quickly to collect the information that can be relatively easy to simple to connect. And the third one is can collect for the large portion of a good. And last one is give the participant a wide range of choice which can make them feel comfortable. Besides for the Likert scale, the Kirkpatrick models are used as well. There are altogether 4 stages. The first stage is reactions. The reaction is do the participant like the trainings do they like the trainings programs? And then the second stage is learning. Do they learn anything from these trainings programs? And the third one is behavior. Behavior is do the participants learn some things and then they learn some of the skills and then they apply in their workplace. And the last one is how they learn and then how they learn and then the result, like they learn and then they use it in their workplace, they apply it. That's all for me. Thank you.